My name is Heather. I am 25 years old, and I live in a quiet town near Chicago with my parents. I work at a small gift shop on Main Street. It's not a big job, but I like it. Every morning I open the shop, arrange the shelves, and smile at the customers who come in looking for something special. Life is simple, maybe even ordinary, but I have always dreamed of more. Since I was a little girl, I wanted a happy life, a loving husband, a warm home, and maybe 1 or 2 children running around the yard. I believed love was easy, that it would find me and stay forever. Then one evening, at a friend's party, I met Harry. He was 24, tall, and had the kind of smile that made people feel safe. He asked for my number, and the next day he texted me, asking if I wanted to meet for coffee. From that day on, we were inseparable. He made me laugh, he made me feel special, and I thought I had finally found the man I was meant to be with. I didn't know then that one word from him, just one word, would change my life completely. Life with Harry felt simple and beautiful. We didn't have much, but every small thing we shared felt special. On weekends, we took long walks through the park, holding hands and laughing about silly things. Sometimes, after work, he brought me cheap ice cream, and we sat on the same bench by the streetlight, talking about our dreams. Harry often said, "I may not have much, but I'll give you everything I can." Those words stayed in my heart. We talked about our future together, a small wedding, maybe a house outside the city, and someday, a baby. I believed every promise he made. I worked at the gift shop, and he worked at a car repair shop across town. His clothes were always covered in grease, but his smile never faded when he saw me. I felt proud to be with him. My friends used to say, "Heather, you're lucky. Good men like him are rare." I always agreed. Harry wasn't rich or famous, but I didn't care. I trusted his love completely. Then one morning, everything changed. I woke up feeling dizzy and sick. I thought it was just a cold. But when it happened again, my friend Anna whispered, "Maybe you're pregnant." I laughed, but when I took the test, my world went silent. 2 pink lines. I was pregnant. That night, I went to Harry's apartment with shaking hands and a nervous smile. He opened the door, looking tired but happy to see me. I sat down on the couch, trying to find the right words. My voice trembled as I said, "I have news." He looked at me curiously and said, "What is it?" I took a deep breath and whispered, "I'm pregnant." For a few seconds, he didn't move. The smile faded from his face. His eyes widened, and then he looked down at the floor. "Are you sure?" he asked quietly. "Yes," I said softly. "I took a test. Twice." He stood up suddenly and began pacing across the room. His voice was low but sharp. "This is not a good time, Heather. I'm not ready to be a father. I don't have enough money. I can't do this." My heart broke with every word. "But we love each other," I said, my voice cracking. "We can figure it out together." He didn't answer. He just stared at the wall and said, "I need time to think." That night, he didn't hug me. He didn't walk me to the door. When I stepped outside, the cold wind hit my face, and I realized something had changed forever. In the days that followed, I called him again and again, but he never picked up. Then one night, a message appeared on my phone. I opened it, my hands shaking. I can't do this. I'm sorry. Those 5 words shattered everything inside me. I read them over and over, hoping they would somehow change, but they didn't. Harry had made his choice. He said no, not just to me, but to our baby, to the life we were supposed to share. I sat on my bed, tears soaking the pillow, my body shaking with quiet sobs. I had never felt so alone. When I finally told my parents, my mother cried and held me tightly. My father didn't say much. He just put his hand on my shoulder and said, "We're here for you, Heather." That night, as I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, I realized something I never wanted to believe. Sometimes love isn't enough. Sometimes, one word can end everything. The months passed like slow-moving clouds, heavy and endless. My belly grew each week, but so did my fear. I still worked at the gift shop, trying to smile for customers while hiding my exhaustion. Some people whispered when they saw me, a young woman alone, pregnant, abandoned. I pretended not to hear. I learned how to keep my tears quiet. At my doctor's appointment, I lay on the table as the nurse pressed the machine against my stomach. Then I heard it, a soft, fast rhythm. My baby's heartbeat. I couldn't stop the tears that filled my eyes. For the first time since Harry left, I felt something stronger than pain. I felt purpose. Even if he was gone, I still had someone who needed me, someone who would love me without conditions. Winter came, and with it, the night that changed everything. The pain started suddenly, sharp and deep. My mother rushed me to the hospital as snow fell outside. Hours passed. I screamed, cried, and gripped my mother's hand. Then, through the noise, I heard a small cry. "It's a girl," the nurse said softly, placing her in my arms. She was tiny, warm, and perfect. Her fingers curled around mine like she already knew me. I whispered, "Hello, my baby. I'm your mom." I named her Sandra. In that single moment, the loneliness inside me melted away. My heart finally had something to hold on to again. But love did not make life easy. Harry never came. He never called. I raised Sandra with my parents' help, working part-time and sleeping only a few hours each night. When I came home from work, I cooked dinner, washed bottles, and held her until she slept. Some nights, exhaustion made me cry quietly in the dark, but I never let Sandra see. One afternoon, when Sandra was a few months old, I saw Harry in the park. He was laughing, holding hands with another woman. My heart stopped. For a moment, I wanted to run to him, to ask, "How can you forget us?" But I didn't. I turned away and kept walking. That night, I held Sandra close and whispered, "You don't need a father who says no. You have a mother who will always say yes." It was the night I stopped crying and started fighting, for her, for me, for the life we deserved. Years passed, and the seasons changed quietly, one after another. Sandra grew fast, her big brown eyes always full of curiosity, her curly hair bouncing as she ran around the house. Every morning, she woke me up with a laugh or a kiss on the cheek. Our apartment was small, the walls a little cracked, but it was filled with love, laughter, and the smell of my mother's cooking. I worked long hours at the gift shop. Sometimes I took extra shifts just to make sure Sandra had everything she needed. My mother watched her while I was away, teaching her songs and stories. My father wasn't a man of many words, but every evening he fixed something, a toy, a chair, a broken drawer, as if keeping our world together with his hands. Slowly, life began to feel normal again. There were still hard days, of course. Nights when bills piled up, when Sandra got sick, when exhaustion made me want to give up. But then she would smile, and everything would feel possible again. One quiet evening, Sandra sat beside me on the couch, holding her doll. She looked up and asked softly, "Mom, do I have a dad?" My heart tightened. I took a deep breath and said, "Yes, you do, sweetheart. But he doesn't live with us." "Why not?" she asked. I hesitated, then whispered, "Because he made a choice." He said no. Sandra was silent for a moment, then she smiled and said, "That's okay, Mom. I have you." Her words broke me and healed me all at once. That night, after she fell asleep, I sat beside her bed and cried, not from pain this time, but from pride. I had done it. I had faced every fear, every lonely night, and turned it into love. I gave my daughter the life she deserved, not perfect, but peaceful, and full of heart. Now, I truly understand what strength means. It is not about living a life without pain, it is about finding the courage to rise every time you fall. I once believed that love only existed between two people, that happiness depended on someone staying by your side. But life taught me that real love begins inside you, in the quiet decision to keep going, no matter who walks away. When Harry said no, it broke me. I thought my world had ended. But that single word became the start of a new journey, one that showed me how powerful a woman can be when she chooses to fight for her child and for herself. I said yes, yes to responsibility, yes to motherhood, yes to life. Every sleepless night, every tear, every small victory became proof that love doesn't disappear when someone leaves. It only changes shape. Sandra gave me more than a reason to live, she gave me a purpose. Through her, I learned that sometimes the strongest love story is not between two lovers, but between a mother and her child. Harry's no was painful, but my yes became my freedom, my strength, and my story. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and subscribe for more emotional English stories that help you learn English through story and meaningful real-life experiences.